I think before coming to basically the terrorism in Pakistan, one should understand the organizational structure of terrorist outfits within the RSS. This is very important. This is on the record. Good thing is that now people are coming up and confessing it. And so this becomes whistleblowing, which can, I think, be a kind of very strong evidence. Now, RSS has been having this militant wing. You know that first organization to be declared as organization was RSS when Nathuram Godse murdered Gandhi. So it starts from right from the before partition. And then 1948. Later on, they formed, two, three major organizations like Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and then they have death squad, like basically Abhinav Bharat, which was mentioned by this guy. And then there's another gang which is known as Sultan Sasta. So these are, I would say, operating between 2000 and 2015. Now, how they have morphed, I don't know. But they may be having more high tech. And if you link some of the evidence by this whistleblower, he talks of Maligaon blast. So if you go back into Maharashtra, these were blasts conducted in a number of mosques and graveyards of Muslims, and then basically blaming the Muslims themselves. And then, of course, there was terrorism in Kashmir. Even the Pahalgam attack may be linked with RSS militant wing because so far there's no proof. Now, I'll just quickly, it's not only anti-Muslim death squads. Like Sanatan Sanstha murdered, five professors or activists who were basically Hindu. Like Gauri Lankesh was a very famous left-wing activist. Then it was Professor Dhavulkar. Then it was Pansare and Professor Kulburgi. And then there's also evidence that probably there was one Colonel Prohit who was investigating the Maligaon blast. He was also taken out during Mumbai attack. So this is the kind of, and there were people like Colonel Prohit involved in it. So it means, like this guy says, he was trained by Indian military. There was a serving Lieutenant Colonel Prohit involved. And now, surprisingly, I think the scene has come after 17 years, they have been freed. And also add, Sadhvi Vidya Thakur, she was a member of Lok Sabha, despite, charges of being part of Abhinav Bharat and Sanstha. So that is the infrastructure. And false flag within India, I would say it's become so easy. And just adding on to how there's a collapse of moral, uh, administrative, judicial, and social and political system. Just linking it with a very recent report of Dharmasthala temple, where there were almost 1,000 young ladies, unfortunately, raped by the administration and buried from 1995 to to 2015 or 18. No police report, no, and 1,000 ladies just vanished. And now there was a whistleblower, which is now this case is very, I think, aptly being highlighted. This happened in Karnataka, and this is now ongoing. So just imagine that you could hide 1,000 killings and rapes. Police couldn't do anything. Judiciary couldn't. Nobody could even go to court and report. So this is the inside of India. I would say it's a moral collapse of social, administrative, legal, political, and I would say moral process or structure. So I would say there is no surprise in this whistleblower, but picking up from here, connecting it with, I think, previous records of these test outfits, even Samjhauta Express was done by Hindus. And that was blamed basically to support the BJP. So I would say RSS has militant wing and BJP is just their kind of political wing. Otherwise, it is basically a terrorist organization.
I think if you now look at their, this was internal and maybe South Asia specific, because there are ample proofs Pakistan has presented number of dossiers. But now look at their arm, which is operating, as transnational operation. Actually, it's basically terrorism, but there's a soft name given transnational operation. They killed Deep Singh Nijar in Canada. There's ample proof was reported by, I think, highlighted by the ex-Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. They killed Avtar Singh Khanda in UK. Since Rishi Sunak was the prime minister, it was hushed up, and then they attempted on basically Gurpatwan Singh Pannu in US, which was then taken very seriously by US establishment and intelligence. They got hold of basically research analysis wing operators, and there is a huge case going on. Now connected with whatever is available in Pakistan, Kulbhushan Yadav's case, and then these confessions. I think this can be a huge case internationally. The environment is right, because the Indian, I would say, terrorist network or their arm is now extended beyond borders. And somehow the West has realized that these guys are now jumping out of their socks because they are targeting their citizens. So it became very, very serious. Then also, I would actually add that with RSS death squads, and there is another Bishnoi gang, mind you, he operates from Indian Punjab. This guy is in jail, and most probably he's a raw hitman. And he then orders on chits, who want to kill, let's say anybody, to just issue a chit, and the people would go and kill in India or abroad. So this was also linked with Sikh assassination. So I would say that actually now RSS and four ministries are colluding. So if embassy of let's say India was involved in Canada, it means Ministry of External Affairs involved because embassy premises was being used. Research analysis officers being involved means Doval's office is involved because orders come from Modi and Ajit Doval. And then you have Defense Ministry, which provides logistics support. We have seen their retired naval officers being caught and awarded death sentences in Qatar. 8 naval officers who were actually spying for Israel, like people were spying, against Iran from within Iran. And now there are some proofs with the Iranian, I think, military establishment that there were some Indian operators collaborating with Mossad. So this is the kind of network. I would rather say that we have to apprise Middle East. There are so many Indians in white collar jobs and businesses that they should be very, very careful because when a time comes then they'll bite them. So I think there is a huge amount of data available, proofs available. Five Eyes have conducted a lot of analysis, like basically intelligence agencies from New Zealand, Australia, US, Canada, and basically UK, all English speaking. So there is a huge evidence. Environment is there. So I think if you make a case and take it to ICJ or I would say even International Criminal Court, it's a very, very apt case. And then also highlight that what kind of state it is, that there's no law. If you look at the kind of things happening in Dharamsala, things are now going to come out because establishment is it's going to show a very, very black face of India. I think I would say that Pakistan has been on the defensive for too long. There was a time, when let's say after 9/11, you remember Mumbai attacks, which I still feel there is a complete book by, I think, Alice Davidson on Mumbai false flag, which was known as the Betrayal of India, if I am not wrong. So he proved it, that circumstantial evidence, and he conducted a 3 years research. Basically, he's a Jewish Palestinian settled in, I think, Germany. And he came up with this book, which proved that it was all false flag because there were so many gaps. So it means that when it comes to basically taking it to courts or legal, let's say, international experts, I would say it's very, very, somehow I feel Pakistan has not only been defensive, it was very, very passive because there was in all governments, even President Musharraf tried it, Sharif government, then President Zardari and People Party, always offering an olive branch. And that was taken as weakness, especially with basically BJP, because when you are, let's say, talking of peace, they take it as weakness. This is the first time that Pakistan has now responded them militarily. So things are now probably much more clearer. Environment is conducive. I think this is the time that we can do it. Because if you look at connection of 9/11, later on there was environment against Islamophobia, then India took advantage. And if you look at some Jota Express blast, Maligaon blast, and then emergence of these terrorist outfits, this is all post 9/11. And then you connect with Mumbai attacks, 2008, I think. So it is all, I think, and they were able to then look at EU Disinformation Lab report. For 15 years, they were bluffing the entire international community, just building up a case. And somehow, I think now, even in South Asia, there is a realization like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India has been doing false flag against these countries also. So I think you can now build up a case, but there is a need to pursue it aggressively. Even on Indus Water Treaty, India has been violating it for too long, but somehow we generally, we offer an olive branch and then it's taken as weakness. But I feel that now, and if you look at US-India relations also, strained relationship, and probably this is the time that Pakistan can put forward its case. I think it has been very clearly specified politically and militarily. Government of Pakistan said it's a red line. And mind you, at times we forget that basically it's not only a water, it's a civilizational argument. That Indus water never started flowing after 1947. It has been flowing since millennia. And there is a watershed, then there is a flow, and there are tributaries. And this a huge civilization, Indus Valley civilization, including, Indo-Gangetic civilization, has prospered on these two river systems. So this was applied by Egypt, when there was, pressure on distribution of Nile River water, that they said this is flowing for thousands of years. Same as Zambezi River, if you go to Africa, I think whatever was done later on, no country passes to, I think, 7, 8 countries. Nobody can tamper with water. So one is that. The other is, I think it was Bilawal Bhutto Zardari very clearly said, and I agree with it, that in case you want to choke the lifeline of 250 million people, it's an act of war and we'll fight. And I think Field Marshal Assam has also pointed out, I think in a discussion in Florida, Tampa probably, with the diaspora, that it will be very serious consequences. So it will be taken as an act of war. I think one is that. The other is we take it to all the international forums, highlight it. India has done a lot of research. I have a data that they have 70 PhDs on IWT. This was started from 2014. Modi had tasked his team that you come up with, legal and all the arguments, and we'll basically save each and every drop of water. Pakistan should be very, very serious. We can't afford people like Jamaat Ali Shah, who remained the, let's say, representative from Pakistan, but he did nothing for almost a decade. So it should be taken very, very seriously. In Pakistan, there is a problem. I've been going to Indian media, and today even I'll be going on Republic with Arnab Goswami, that they are very focused. I would say they are very focused on Pakistan. So there's a dedicated media wing which is focusing, and it's almost a daily debate, whatever. So in Pakistan, it's taken very lightly, that maybe we are discussing it, and then we move on. So I think there should be some people focusing. We don't have even India chairs in our university. I think Punjab University is the only one. Should be having India chairs and study all these aspects, and also apprise the youth about it. Yeah, there is a serious problem. I think India has another problem. It's not only of diplomacy, but like people are now commenting from India that their diplomacy was like for social media. Like Jay Shankar with, laser eyes, and Modi Saab with 56 and chest, and they thought they could get away with it. I was just yesterday I was in a program. They were actually saying that, look, Prime Minister is going to China, and you will be. I said this is an SCO conference, and all members are going to be there. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif will be there. And what are you going to ask Chinese? They are looking at the return of Arunachal Pradesh as South Tibet. They are looking at, Dalai Lama's case. You have Dalai Lama hosted in India. They are building a dam on Brahmaputra River, and they have occupied your 4,500 square kilometers in 2020. So are you going to ask Chinese to, basically hand it over everything to you? So I think they basically appear to be self-entitled. So same is happening with President Trump. I would say it's such a abusive debate going on in Godi media, which is sponsored by their government and their corporate, basically, let's say, leaders or entrepreneurs, that now they are hitting, and they are actually annoying the Americans, not realizing that you don't do diplomacy like that. Like their business community saying, hold on, try to have. So I've seen like Iranian, foreign minister, the kind of, words were used against him by Gaurav Arya, and one program spoiled the entire relationship. So I think let them live with this logic bubble. But I feel that Pakistan should encash on this opportunity, because US-Pakistan relation has, I think, been going up and down, but by and large, there was never, I would say, a major gap. Yes, there could be, you can say there was certain times when there were cooling down of relationship and warming of relationship. Now, US also feels, I think after 10th May, it's a very different Pakistan, because there's a feeling in the West that India was prepared to be part or a strong member of the Quad and take on China, but in case they couldn't handle Pakistan, so probably they've lost their credibility also. And I even heard, one of their defense analysts long time back saying that get hold of Pakistan Air Force Americans, saying an army and you conquer the world. So kind of that thing, that they feel that it's a strong nation. And probably Trump is also, there is a feeling in India using, Pakistan name to actually rub their nose into the dust. So it's a good opportunity. I would say a new beginning as far as the thing of relationship is concerned. So we should encash on that. Americans are good enough. I think they'll handle them, whatever Indians want to do. Could be, because I think what BJP, there was Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time also. And then there was a feeling that probably it could be a military leader here and BJP leader there could actually solve all that. They were very close to actually, it is heard, solving the Kashmir issue, because there was some compromise. Chenab formula, whatever. But I think after Modi came into power, and then some of corporate India started bankrolling him, things have actually changed. I always say that what kind of advisors you have, like these four, even Jay Shankar, despite being, I would say, a learned bureaucrat, but I call them basically, sorry to say in Punjabi, chavals, four chavals. Jay Shankar as foreign minister, you have Rajnath Singh as defense minister, you have Amit Shah as, home minister, and then, of course, Ajit Doval as so these are, I would say that people living in cuckoo's land, and Modi was definitely primed for such a team. And then you have, but I think now there's a lot of pressure building up in India. People are not reading it. That RSS is also getting fed up because this is the mother organization of BJP. They are saying that they have kind of unwritten SOP that you cannot be holding public office after 75 years of age. So Modi is celebrating his 75th birthday next month on 17th. Ajit Doval is already 80. And now there's a huge call going on that he's not delivered. So, but I still feel that in case there are even senior elements within BJP, there are like, Yashwant Sinha used to be there, uh, who basically wanted that they should be reposed. Actually, India should realize now they are going to SCO. I think China can also play a role of, I think President Xi advised Modi that, we can live together, and in case you can mend fences and let's grow together. But somehow, I think there was a huge misperception about Pakistan and India. And it was again reinforced by people here also, because we are too much self-critical. So there was a huge shock, I think, in May. Maybe, this post-10th May Pakistan forces them to come to a negotiating table. But as far as I think BJP's current leadership is concerned, I don't have any hope lately, because they have really crossed the Rubicon of relationship with Pakistan, and probably they will lose a lot of political capital if they do any such move.